Let's now talk about Harry and Meghan. I know, look, we should do, because we're talking about the King's coronation. It's more about the King than them, really. Because as well as Prince Harry's upcoming memoir that I think we're going to have to endure, I think it's next week. Is it out next week? Yeah, out next week sometime. It's on the 10th, actually. So in 9 days' time. So that's coming out. The Sussexes, their Netflix documentary, which was one of last year's most streamed programmes. It included multiple charges, including Harry accusing William of screaming and shouting at him, as brothers do, and allegations the palace lied over bullying claims against Meghan. The royal family has not commented on whether the Duke and Duchess are to be invited to the King's coronation. However, multiple polls and even former politicians are questioning whether it's right for the couple to be invited. So I'm joined now by former royal correspondent Michael Cole. Michael, thank you very much for joining me. Michael, so what do you think about this? Because, should they be invited?
Nana, good afternoon and Happy New Year to you and all the viewers. His Majesty the King has handled this rather cleverly, because he's let it be known that they are very welcome to come to the coronation on May the 6th. Now, that leaves it up to them whether to accept, which leaves them open to the charge of hypocrisy after all the criticism and wounding things they've said about the royal family, or if they then refuse, then they could be accused of being petulant and petty-minded. So it is really quite a clever thing for the King to have done. And for Prince Harry, there is an additional problem, Nana, because all the princes present in the Abbey at the coronation will be required to kneel and give a loyal oath. They'll have to swear as liege men of life and limb to be loyal to the new king who has just been crowned. Now, could Prince Harry do that with a straight face, or would he be like those anti-royal MPs who at the start of every parliament, when they have to take the loyal oath in order to take their seat, they cross their fingers behind their back? So I think the King has been playing quite a good innings so far in his reign, and I think he's handled this one quite well.
Wow, so he's going to have to bend down and do this thing. So do you think he'll go? Do you think, I think that if he's invited, I think he'll probably try and snub his invite. What do you think he would do? Do you think Harry will go if he was invited?
Yeah, maybe that is a reaction, and it's a perfectly respectable one on your part. I actually think he will accept, they will accept, because they're in the business of self-publicity that they have to keep in the public eye. That's all they've got left to them now. They've sold themselves to Netflix, and they have to keep a high profile. There is a problem there, because I had never, ever heard a member of the royal family booed until they came to St. Paul's Cathedral for the service in Thanksgiving for the Queen's 70 years unprecedented reign. And there were quite a few boos outside. Now, even in Quebec City, when French separatists demonstrated against the Queen Mother, the late Queen Mother, they didn't boo her. They weren't booing her personally. They were demonstrating because they wanted French separatism in the Canadian Federation. So that is quite unusual. And I think there would be, and the figures you were quoting would indicate that there may be some opposition, which would rather detract from the solemnity and the glory of the occasion. We haven't seen a coronation since 1953. There have been more solar eclipses in the last 200 years than there have been coronations. So this is going to be a special occasion, Nana, and you're going to be there, I'm sure.
Of course, I'll be there with bells on as well. Well, listen, stay right there, Michael, because I'm going to bring in Grant Harold. Now, he's a former royal butler. So, Grant, look, what do you think about this then? I mean, has King Charles played a blinder? Do you think it's a good idea? What's your view? And do you think Harry will go?
Well, good afternoon, Nana. Thank you, Simon, and Happy New Year. I think he will go, because I believe with everything that's taken place, everything that's happened, he obviously feels that they have done no wrong. And I think on that basis, they will still want to be there. Even though I think it'll be really awkward, personally. I would think it'd be quite awkward to be there. But I think he will. And I think the king, as Michael said, he's played it very carefully. You know, he's invited them. Of course, he'd invite him because it's his second son. But the decision's now down to them. And I think the risk is that they do go. People do give a bad reaction to them being there, which is possible.
I think they will. I think people will. I'll have a bad reaction to them, to be fair, because I just think, you know, it's all very well having a disagreement with your family, but the mudslinging, selling your story, and then actually not speaking to your own father because maybe he did something wrong with a picture, which that's not how he tells the story. But then, as a result, you're selling everything, you're doing everything that you said he was doing, and worse. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Now, it's pretty bad. I was going to ask you as well. Sorry, Grant, you go first. Go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that's the tricky part, and you know, going along, as I said, I think he will, you know, he'll probably feel he should be there. I think the dangerous part is, Nana, that with the late Queen in recent years, there was always that thing of them overshadowing different things, which is the reality. And I think that's something that the palace will not want that to happen. They will not want anything to put any kind of shadow over this event. So it's going to be very carefully played out over the next couple of months, I think.
Do you think they've got much left to say? Because Prince Harry's book is coming out. I watched the thing. I fell asleep in the middle of that 6-part thing. I'm not going to get those hours back again, but I had to watch it for the sake of work. I mean, do you think, have they got anything left to say? Really? What do you think?
This is what confuses me, because obviously, you know, we all listened at the Oprah interview because we wanted to know what had to be said, and even then I was kind of very much in the fence, as you know, Nana. And then the TV series has come out, and you kind of think, okay, a lot of it is repeated. Now the book, and you do kind of think, what are they trying to get across? This is what I'm trying to understand from my own point of view, because knowing him, knowing his father, knowing the family, I don't understand what the end game is. There has to be an end game, and I don't know what he actually wants. I don't know what that end game is. I don't know if he's trying to say that he feels that they've been treated unfairly and wants everybody to know. I don't know if they're trying to get something out of it. That's the bit I don't get, and I question that all the time, thinking, what's the end game? That's what I'm sure everybody's wondering.
I think the end game is money. Let's bring Michael back in quickly for a final chat with him. Michael, so it's interesting that Grant has pointed out the end game. What do you think their end game is? I mean, what could they possibly be after? They've only got the book left. Now the book's coming. I mean, what do you think where are they going with this?
First of all, good hogmanay to Grant up there in Scotland or wherever he is. We used to live in Scotland. We enjoyed that.
Michael, I love the fact that we're coordinated with our colours, by the way.
Oh, yes, they are.
We didn't talk beforehand, I know. We didn't arrange this. But we can't look as glorious as you, though, Nana. You know, whatever we do, however we coordinate. But let me just say, it's Tuesday week the book comes out. Penguin Random House will obviously want to avoid the charge that they've oversold it, because people will feel cheated if there is not something new in it. And have they fired all their ammunition in those 6 agonizing, excruciating programs to which you have referred so eloquently? We'll have to see. But their fate is one which I don't think is enviable. They are now going to live in their hilltop fortress in California. That is their life. They have sold themselves to Hollywood celebrity. And celebrity fades very quickly. Yeah. The Americans always want the next big thing. That's what they're interested in. This country, Britain, is the home for nostalgia. We've cherished the people who've been around a long time. We like them. We call them national treasures. Now, they've sacrificed all that. And they're really riding on a tiger. They've got to keep going. And I'm afraid it's a bit threadbare now, rubbishing your own family. It doesn't look good. No. It doesn't smell right. No. It's a terrible thing in life to see 2 brothers fighting. Doesn't matter who the brothers are. It's terrible. But when it's princes of the royal blood fighting, and I do understand this book will be drawing some blood, and there will be attacks on Prince William, which perhaps we haven't seen before. Well, but when that happens, I think it's regrettable. It's very sad. And I'll tell you what, Nana, it's all unnecessary because all
Totally.
these complaints, when you look at it in the great scheme of things, with a war raging 2 time zones away from here, it's all terribly trivial.
It is totally trivial. Michael, and on that bombshell, Michael Cole, thank you very much for joining me. And also, Grant Harold, thank you so much and Happy New Year to you.